Okay, young historians, here's an overview of how Doc and I would like you to print out your skeleton bibliography. It does need to be printed out because it's easier for us to give you feedback on it when it's printed, and also you have to print it out for your night, your showcase night in January, and for any competition that you enter. If you are in a group project, we only need one skeleton bibliography printed out. Now, to get the requirements for the skeleton bibliography, head up to classwork, skeleton bibliography, click on the overall rubric. It's due November 15th, Thursday of this week. You are going to be annotating two of your sources, so there's a link here that you might want to click on about annotating your sources. And there are some requirements on here. You need to have 4 different primary sources, and one of those resources must be annotated, and you need to have 5 different print book resources, and I'm going to put print book or article resources. That includes ebooks or anything that is published and referenced, not a website. So if it is a published document or published in a journal that is online, that counts. If it's just some dude's blog post, that doesn't count. All right. Notice it says eventually all of your resources must be annotated, but only a few for this checkpoint. And you're required to list and attempt to contact at least one individual, group, museum, organization, or historical site. That does not go in your bibliography. You can, though, submit that on Google Classroom to get your certification for contacting somebody, and I'll make a little post on that. All right. Here's what you need to know about how to print this bad boy out. You go to your Noodle Tools, and here's my example, and then you click on your sources. Now, number 1, what you need to do is you need to identify these sources as primary sources or secondary sources. Here's how you do it. Over here where it says sort, I want you to click and sort by primary and secondary. Then for each source, you can click add tag, and you can see primary, secondary, and tertiary. Tertiary source is really kind of like a textbook. We're not using textbooks. So it's either going to be primary or secondary. This is a letter, it's primary. This is a letter, it's primary. Typically my books are going to be secondary. So now I've got primary and secondary sources. Everybody got that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that I have annotations for 2 of my resources. I want one primary source annotated and one secondary source annotated. Here's the annotation right here. You can edit it by looking at Edit Annotation. You'll notice my annotation is 3 to 4 sentences. It describes the source itself and then describes what I got out of the source and how I plan to use that information in my project. The reason you're only doing 2 right now is because you might not know exactly how you're going to use each source in your project. I want everybody to go to Formatting Options. Our custom header is Annotated Bibliography. Type that in. Annotation spacing. Annotation follows citation on the same line. I want you to change that. Add a line space and paragraph indent. Okay. We are including citations and annotations. And for URLs, I think we can omit URLs because some of them are going to be a little long. And I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to go to Print Export, Export to Google Docs. And here's my bibliography, primary, secondary. All right. Spelling error. Now you'll notice that I've got Alston here. This little dash means it's another letter from Alston. This is from Horace Pippin. What I'd like you to do is do a return between each. I'd also like you to bold the sources, but not bold the annotations. Again, bold the sources, but don't bold the annotations. and then put a little return, return, return. It just presents a little better. Then I want you to take Command All, and I want you to go 1.15. Just gives us a little better room there. Okay? So again, we have primary sources and we have secondary sources. That'll be good for your skeleton bibliography. Print that bad boy out and hand it to Doc and I. Only one copy per project by Thursday, November 15th, so that we can get going on providing you feedback on your sources. Again, 5 secondary sources that are print or book or reference sources, and 4 primary sources. You should be able to get those. You should already have them because you've been working on finding sources for 2 months. Okie doke. That's what we got going on. Good luck. Let us know if you have any questions.